Hello and welcome to Stamper School. This is Julie Maxon, the main stamper. I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up. Stamper School is in session. Join me for a short lesson in the basics of some Stampin' Up products. So today we are learning a little bit more about cling stamps. And these are, again, Stampin' Up products. So you have the Stampin' Up logo on your stamp set. Now Stampin' Up is really nice to us because they send us these really great DVD style cases to keep our stamps in. So this is what they come in. We were able to store them really nicely. And you're going to see that the name of the stamp set is on the case. There's also an indication right here at the bottom how many stamps are in here. So you'll always know how many stamps belong in this stamp set. Now again, on the spine we also have the name. It says cling stamp set, so you'll know it's a red rubber or a cling. It also has a little bit of imagery here too. So whether you're storing these vertically, horizontally on your shelf, imagine a row of stamps and that you're looking for one that has a hummingbird. You can see this tiny little image right here, and you'll know that this is one that has the hummingbird in it. Now these are not just beautiful imagery that tell you all of the stamps that are inside. They're also very useful imagery. The stamps, the image here, 99% of the time is the exact same size as the stamp that's inside. So you can use your clear block, your acrylic block that you have to mount your stamps on. So you can actually shop around to see if this block is going to fit this stamp. Is it going to fit this stamp? I might need a bigger one for my hummingbird. I could use a smaller one for different flowers or sentiments. So you'll be able to use this in that way to know which acrylic blocks you're going to need out when it comes time for doing some stamping. So they're not just pretty images, they're also useful images too. Now we're going to open it up because the inside is of course what is the most exciting, right? So inside you're going to have this sheet. This is a sticker sheet, and the cling stamps from Stampin' Up are fantastic because we can actually put stickers on these, and then we'll know when we're stamping which way the sentiment is supposed to go, which orientation an image is supposed to go. We'll have a better idea. And that's what I love about the red rubber or the cling. So you can see here this red rubber. It's kind of an orangey red color, right? This is the rubber stamp, and this is why it's called red rubber. And you're going to see that there's always great detail. They can add so much detail into the red rubber stamps because there's so much surface to work with here. So the red rubber stamps, the cling stamps, they accept ink really nicely and they stamp so beautifully on paper. And on the back side here, you're going to see that all of these little stamps that are in here, they're kind of perforated. They're going to pop right out of here when it comes time to mount them. Before we do that though, I want to point out that there's a mirror image here between the sticker and the actual stamp. So for example, this is the hummingbird stamp right here. This is the back side of it, and the sticker is right over here. So the mirror image is right across. So you're always going to know which stamp needs to go on which sticker, because you're going to be reading some of these words are going to look like they're backwards and upside down. They're not going to look normal because that's how we have to stamp them. So Stampin' Up is very clever. They actually also give us different cutout images, so no two are the same. So it's kind of like a puzzle piece. So as you're looking at the sticker sheet, you're going to know which stamp belongs to which sticker. So let's go ahead and we're going to mount up one here so you can see how this is going to work. We're going to do the hummingbird because I think the hummingbird is the most exciting thing about the stamp set, right? Now I'm going to recommend you start with the red rubber and just pop the stamp out. So you're going to see how it kind of just pops out here in a few pieces. So I'm going to set this aside. Here's our little red rubber hummingbird. We're going to peel off the back here. We're going to peel off this paper. This is garbage, so throw that out. Now this is a smooth, foamy surface right here. So you can see the foam here. That helps to just support the stamp in getting us a really great stamping image. Now, if you wanted to, you don't have to put the sticker on at all. This will mount. It's not quite, this block is not quite big enough, but this will mount right here onto your clear block. And you could use this to stamp. Now this is what you'd be looking at when you're stamping. You're just going to look at this kind of beige gray outline. You're not going to see, you know, that this is, you know, if the image was a little bit more complex, you wouldn't know that this is the beak, this is the top wing, right? This is what you would be looking at before you mount it with the sticker. So fortunately, we have the sticker sheet that corresponds with the actual stamp itself. So what you're going to do with this sticker sheet, so you're going to see that this is a darker side right here. You're going to see a little bit more imagery here, and this side's a little bit more opaque. And on the side, you're going to actually see that there are some papers that are going to come up, and usually there's two. So 2 per sticker. So we're just going to peel these off. Now again, that is garbage that just came off. This is the sticky sticker. So it is very sticky. And what I like to do is I like to very carefully line up my stamp over top of the outline of the sticker. So you're going to fit the stamp, the foam side is going to fit right around the outside edges. So you're just going to be really careful. I usually hold my stamp up a little bit and start with one end and kind of just lay it on. I'm looking at it kind of from the side a little bit. And before I lay the whole thing down, I kind of look to make sure that it's going to go right where it needs to go. And I usually let it relax there just for a little minute because I don't want to force it into some odd kind of contortion. Now the sticker label is really sticky, so it's going to stick on here really well. And I'm going to caution you not to try to correct it once it's on here. So I'm just going to make sure I pull this up, and here it is mounted perfectly onto my stamp. Now, is it perfect? Probably not. I can see a little bit of sticker overlay right here on the side, and that's okay. Now, if there's any parts that really, really annoy you and bother you, bring in your paper snips and just trim off that little excess of the sticker and you'll be all set. You do not want to try to pull this back off and start over. It is so sticky, it will actually pull the foam right off of your red rubber stamp and you're going to ruin it. So I recommend that you, if you have a crooked sticker on there, that you just work with a crooked sticker. The more you practice this, the better you're going to be at mounting your stamps with this the sticker sheet. Now, when I put these back into my stamp case right here, I'm going to do this very specifically. I actually keep this whole insert where I'm going to pull all of these off, and I do that for a couple of reasons. First of all, if I had this stamp out, for example, and I was looking at the back of it, I'm going to see that there's a big old hole right here. I am missing a stamp. I don't want my hummingbird to end up in the wrong stamp set. So by keeping this little insert right here, I know that I am missing a stamp, and I'll be able to put this away so that I have all of my stamps. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to place this right back into the space that it came from. So here it is, just like this. And when I close it now, I'm going to see that all of my stamps are in here. So I know that I have every one of them. And I'm also doing something very specific. I'm keeping the sticker side facing up as you open the case this way. And I'm keeping my sheet. Now, even once these are all mounted, I'm going to keep this sheet. So right here where this hummingbird sticker came off of, it's like a waxy paper. This waxy paper is going to fit right back over top here. So here's my sticker. And here is this perfectly lined up waxy paper. Now what this waxy paper does is it prevents the stamps from sticking to the front or the back, depending on how you're storing them, of the case. So when I open it back up, all I do is pull off my sticker and here's my stamp. If this paper wasn't here, this is going to stick to the side of the stamp case, and I just don't like all that extra sticking. So I want it to stick to my block. I don't want it to stick to things I don't need it to stick to. So this is how I mount my stamps for the cling. This is how I store my stamps for the cling. And I think that if you try this, you may really enjoy this as well. So that was our first session of Stamper School. I hope you really enjoyed this. Thank you so much for joining me for Stamper School. And I would love to know if you found this class helpful. If you have any product topics you would like me to cover in a future lesson, please comment with your suggestions or ideas. Stay creative and see you in the next session of Stamper School.